Welcome to Couch Reacts. Here with Luke and Ryan. No one,
Just us.
no one else. We'll see what happens. We might have some surprise guests, we might not. Depends on how gamey we're feeling. Okay, so the Super Bowl happened. The NFL honors happened. Ryan's heart was crushed. He was rooting for the Patriots, believe it or not.
I was. They were the underdog in the fight, and they did not win, which the odds were against them. So I guess it makes sense, but it still
Alright.
kind of upsets you.
I want to touch on Ryan's logic because I disagree with him completely.
Just because it's me, or because you actually have a
Well,
point that
actually,
disagrees
I
with.
wouldn't say I disagree with you completely because there are times where, especially if I'm watching a sport I don't care about, where I do have your logic, where it's I'll root for the underdog because they're the underdog and it's more fun to root for the underdog. But I refuse to root for the underdog in the Super Bowl's case because the underdog, in this case being the New England Patriots, had no business being in this game.
I mean, you have a point there. They did not.
Cakewalk schedule, super lucky breaks in the playoffs. Jarrett Stidham, CJ Stroud. I keep saying the ghost of CJ Stroud. I feel like it's the best. The ghost of CJ Stroud's future.
Yeah.
And playoff Justin Herbert without an offensive line. I've never seen such easy matchups. But actually, before we jump completely into this game, I do want to talk about the NFL honors a little bit. So, Myles Garrett was the unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. We kind of teased that in the episode last week. JSN did get Offensive Player of the Year, which I don't think anyone's upset about that.
Makes sense.
Matthew Stafford got MVP, which some people were bent out of shape about.
I don't know why he had so many touchdowns on the year and so many yards that
And then Mike Vrabel won Coach of the Year. So, for the most part, I think they got everything right. And while I am a Bears fan, and I, made a couple cases for why I think Ben Johnson was a candidate for Coach of the Year, I respect the Vrabel pick. But what I cannot support is Ben Johnson. Ryan, how many votes did Ben Johnson receive?
numero uno.
He received one vote for Coach of the Year, meaning less than every other candidate. Yeah, okay. Do I think he?
Well,
Do I think he? Did I think he was gonna win? No. But one vote? Are you kidding me? The dude transformed a historically horrible franchise. Come on, throw him a bone. Two votes. Two votes would have been nice. He got just as many votes as Justin Herbert got for MVP.
which I mean, in Vrabel's defense, the New England Patriots last year were 4-13, and the Chicago Bears were 5-12. So yeah, you know,
Yeah, but after the Super Bowl, I don't know. Vrabel. People looking at Vrabel a little bit different now. Same thing with Drake May. And the funny thing, well, I'll hold off until the Super Bowl because I do want to talk about this Justin Herbert MVP vote.
Super Bowl already happened. You can talk.
No, no, no. I want to stay on the NFL honors for a second because I want to talk about this freaking jerk that voted for Justin Herbert. Not because I think Drake May should have won MVP, but I watched. I didn't watch the NFL honors. I did tune in just in time for the MVP. I thought it was over, and it wasn't. Yeah, Windows backup. Anyways, um, so I did tune in to see the MVP, and I don't think anyone other than Stafford was necessarily a better pick. Like, yeah, do I think Myles Garrett could have gotten it? Yeah, but Stafford was a fine pick, so that's not why I'm mad about the Herbert vote. The reason I am upset about the Justin Herbert vote was because this was a jerk, and I won't even dignify him by saying his name, but this dude, and he's done it multiple years in a row, he needs to be kicked off of the committee that gets to decide MVP because first of all, he's not a former player. He's not a former coach. All he is just a media personality. And as soon as the NFL honors happened, I see this dude on Twitter jump on and he says, "I was the Justin Herbert vote, and here's why." And it's like, no, dude, you didn't actually think Justin Herbert should win MVP. You're just looking to expand your own platform because you know that being controversial is what gets you attention. And they need to knock that off. People that are like that should not get an MVP vote. You should not get an MVP vote because you're trying to push your own agenda and expand your own platform. That's ridiculous. And I guarantee you he had pre-typed out the fact that he was the only Justin Herbert vote. I guarantee you that tweet had been pre-typed. He probably had it just scheduled to send. So yes, upset about that.
You sound just a tad upset, for sure.
And I don't like,
Yeah.
and I don't hate Justin Herbert or anything. It's just he was not the MVP. Maybe if his offensive line stays healthy, we're talking about him in MVP light. But he did not end the season as an MVP, not as a legitimate MVP candidate.
Right. Drake May getting one behind Stafford though it was a close race, as we called it.
Closer than I expected, but I will say now we can start to transition more into the Super Bowl. So,
I wanted to mention one thing about Coach of the Year though. Liam Cohen got second place in there, so
yeah, that
that's
was surprising.
recognition, but
yeah,
3 outside of getting the actual Coach of the Year. So yeah,
he was the one that we talked about the least, I think.
well, from what I remember, I said Vrabel, Cohen, and then Johnson. And then they were all pretty close. And then Johnson apparently gets snubbed, and Cohen does all right. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it was interesting. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence got any MVP votes. I doubt he did. But I
got it right here.
Okay.
1 sec.
Did he get any votes?
Trevor Lawrence got none. Christian McCaffrey got none. Josh Allen 2. Drake May 23. Matt Stafford 24.
And Herbert 1. So that's the thing. But that's another thing about this dude just trying to be controversial and trying to expand his own platform. If you're gonna vote for not Drake May or not Matthew Stafford, you could have voted for Christian McCaffrey and people wouldn't have batted an eye. You could vote for Trevor Lawrence and people would be like, that's a weird one, but it makes sense. Herbert was probably the worst one that you could pick on that list.
Yeah.
And that's how I know that this guy's just he's rage baiting is what he's doing. He sent out that tweet knowing it was going to get engagement because he pays for the blue check mark, so he's getting paid by people commenting on his Twitter post.
I mean, if anything, you had better options out there from Caleb Williams, Sam Darnold, Dak Prescott,
Myles Garrett,
Jared Goff. I mean,
I would have voted for Myles Garrett. And you know what's funny? You could vote for Myles Garrett. You can vote for Myles Garrett. He's not a finalist, so I don't know if you can vote for him, but you should be able to vote for whoever you want to vote for. If I was him, I would have voted for Myles Garrett, and I would have jumped on Twitter and been like, I was the Myles Garrett vote. People need to put some respect on defensive players' names. And you would still get engagement. It just wouldn't be everyone calling you a moron. Instead, what he got was everyone calling him a moron because he's a moron.
What was his reasoning for voting for Herbert?
For Herbert, he was just like, he played really well considering that his offensive line got injured. It's like, yeah, so have a lot of quarterbacks in the past. That doesn't mean he should be MVP.
Yeah.
Dude, the dude, in his heart of hearts, he does not believe, there's no way he legitimately believes that Herbert should have been MVP compared to those other guys. Like, he's just, like, he needs to be kicked off that committee. That's ridiculous. So, Drake May falling 1 vote short. There was a lot of people saying Drake May snub. They're not really talking, they're not saying that much about it after the Super Bowl, but here's the thing. So, Super Bowl, Patriots put up 13 points. Drake May got some garbage time, stat padding, but 3 turnovers in that game. And you know what? The last quarterback to play the Seahawks defense? Matthew Stafford, the actual MVP. And you know what? He went toe-to-toe with him. So anyone that's going to continue to say that Drake May was snubbed, silence yourself. He had a good year, and he got exposed by this defense that Matthew Stafford has gone toe-to-toe with multiple times this season.
No, you are right. I mean, it's just ridiculous to even compare between the two. Just looking at the stats themselves, with Stafford throwing so many more touchdowns, same amount of interceptions, many more yards. So I don't know why people are so upset about it.
It's the weapons. People say, oh, well, Stafford has Puka and Devontae. And I'm like, yeah, and And Drake May's got one of the best defenses that's carrying him.
I mean, is Stephon Diggs equivalent to Devonta Adams right now? So maybe they just have Puka.
Yeah,
Debatably, they have better tight ends than Hunter Henry, though. So what's easier to throw to, a wide receiver or a tight end?
yeah. I mean, I think the Rams have better offensive weapons, but I think the Patriots are a better team.
Yeah. Well, we'll have all offseason to debate, and then we'll see what happens next season. Are the schedules out yet?
Nah, schedules won't release for probably another month.
Okay.
Maybe late February. I don't remember when they do it now. You know the opponents. You just don't know, like,
When they're going to play them?
when they're playing them, like what the primetime slate looks like, stuff like that. So, Cooper Kupp, leading receiver for the Seahawks, 6 for 61. Kenneth Walker, MVP, 27 carries, 135 yards. Sam Darnold, a modest 202 yards and a touchdown, but he got the job done.
Yeah, I mean, he did what he needed to do. It was a very defensive, low-scoring game, and it was tough to watch at certain parts in time. But it makes sense that Sam Darnold did not get MVP for this game because he had, yes, as you said, a mediocre game.
Yeah, I mean it's the game that Sam Darnold. It's the game that I kind of expected from Sam Darnold, and it's not a bad thing. Like I talked about this a couple weeks ago, where it's like the game manager title is like used as like a slur against QBs. It's like it's not a bad thing. It's not you know what Sam Darnold did? You know what he just did that no other quarterback has ever done? He just played all the way through the playoffs without turning the ball over a single time. No quarterback in NFL history has done that.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's game management right there. Taking care of the ball, making smart plays, making smart throws, only taking necessary risk when, there's a chance that you're going to put 6 up on the scoreboard. Like, yeah, Sam Darnold's a game manager. He's also a Super Bowl champion now because of it.
I will say that it is a little surprising that he did that because he had 14 interceptions this year, which about average. I mean, it's not really that good, not that bad. But he also had 11 fumbles. So there was some issue with ball security if you're losing that on average 1.5 times a game.
Yeah.
So that is very impressive that in 4 games? Oh, I'm forgetting what seed the Seahawks
Three
were.
games. They had the
3 games.
They had the bye.
Yeah. In 3 games, he averaged no turnovers when he should have averaged 4.5. So.
And it's actually deeper than that. The Seahawks as a whole didn't turn the ball over a single time. No fumbles, no picks. Just kept it clean. Their defense played some really good defense. And then it's basically the complete opposite story for Drake May, right? Drake May did a pretty good job protecting the ball throughout the season and then just went on possibly the worst playoff run that a quarterback has ever had. I mean, we're Bears fans, right? To me, this is comparable to Rex Grossman's playoff run in 2006.
Yeah.
There were some people throwing up the stats. It was Drake May's playoff run compared to Rex Grossman, compared to 2015 Peyton Manning. Pretty comparable. So, and I mean, we all know 2015 Peyton Manning was actual garbage. So, yep, not a good playoff run for him. Still has a bright future, I'd say. I think that it just goes to show he is a bright talent that's got a bright future, but it also just goes to show he's not there yet. And that's the main thing, is that people wanted to be, people love to jump on hype trains, and they wanted to say that the second year he's only 23, this young QB is already the MVP of the NFL, and he's going to win a Super Bowl in his second year, and it just didn't happen. And when you look at their schedule and you look at what happened during the playoffs, you kind of see it's like, okay, is he a top 3 QB in the league right now? I don't think he actually is. I think that they were very fortunate with their schedule.
Mm-hmm. And we keep talking that the Patriots had an easy schedule. Can we elaborate further on, the teams they played or did not play?
Yeah, you want to go through it?
Yeah. So started with the Raiders, who finished with a losing record,
And
which
did they win or lose that game?
they lost that game. Hey, it's just that first game jitters. Then they went to Miami and won.
Mm-hmm. Terrible team.
Pittsburgh lost.
Barely
Playoff team,
a barely
positive
good
record.
team, but yes, above 500. That's one above 500.
We'll give them Pittsburgh. Playoff team, positive record. Carolina, they won. Playoff team, not positive record.
Yeah, not above 500.
Beat the Bills. It was a decent victory.
That's an above
Very narrow
500
margin.
team.
Yep. Saints, before Tyler Shuck was QB, they won. So.
Yep, terrible.
Tennessee.
Terrible.
Cleveland.
Terrible.
Atlanta by a point.
Terrible.
Tampa Bay by 5.
What?
Debatable.
Man, my Windows is going crazy. Tampa Bay. I mean, they ended below 500, so
They're also at Tampa Bay, so you could say something about that. Then the Jets, the
Terrible.
Bengals without Burrow,
terrible.
the Giants, they've lost to the Bills, Ravens, Jets, Miami. So they really only had 1, 2, 3,
It's the
4 games out of the 17 that were really a decent game and maybe not even a challenging game.
Yeah, the Bills and the Steelers were the only two teams above 500.
So that's
and that's the annoying thing as Bears fans, right? Is that all the way up until the Eagles game, the Bears-Eagles game, and even a little bit after the Bears-Eagles game, we had to deal with, the Bears haven't played anybody. They haven't played anybody. They haven't beaten anyone. It's like, why are people saying this about the Patriots? Obviously, they're saying it now, but at that point of the season, it was the Bears or schedule merchants. And no one was saying anything about the Patriots.
Yeah, it was a little upsetting to hear that and have people gloss over this, but
Justice has been served in the Super Bowl.
Who's Justice? What team's he on?
And there are people that are like, well, they still made the Super Bowl. And it's like, yes, they did. The Patriots. I'm not saying the Patriots were not a bad team. They just should not have been. Like, there's no way that there are people out there that are still trying to say that the Patriots were the best team to come out of the AFC. They weren't. There were much better teams that could have come out of the AFC. And obviously, Ryan, you and I, we picked up some heat for the Bills-Broncos comments. And
a little bit.
and it's people don't understand. People don't understand what we're talking. We're not fans of any of these teams. We're not we're Bears fans. We're not fans of any of these teams. We just wanted an exciting Super Bowl, and when we saw Bo Nix get injured and the Bills get eliminated, we knew the Patriots were going to be going to the Super Bowl, and we knew that this was going to happen. We knew that this was going to be a bad Super Bowl. We knew it was either going to be super low scoring or it was going to be a blowout, and we got kind of both. Like, points got put up, but not until way late in the game. Not until garbage time. So, yes, 2 blowout Super Bowls, back-to-back years. Last year was more enjoyable because it was happening to the Chiefs, and come on, I mean, everybody hates the Chiefs.
Yeah, they were on top for a while.
This year was just like, we knew this was going to happen. This was the expectation. The expectation was exactly what happened. It was the Patriots are going to get blown out, and both teams are going to struggle on offense, and that's exactly what happened.
And nobody is surprised.
Yeah, there was a defensive score in this game. There were 2 touchdowns scored by Seattle. One was defensive.
Yeah, I think Drake May handed the ball off to him or something.
I mean, it went down as a pick 6, but yeah, it was an interesting play. He also, I don't know if that's play is an interception or a fumble. They ruled it an interception. Technically, the ball never hits the ground, so I guess, I don't know. But I will say the Patriots started to get momentum. They caught the Seahawks, napping and probably prematurely celebrating. They got 2 big completions, scored a deep touchdown to Mac Hollins. And then the next drive, it was like, maybe this is going to become a game. And then Drake May threw a horrible interception.
Yeah, his receiver wasn't even like within 5-10 yards of the
Yeah,
ball.
and then it was like, okay, yeah, no, it's not gonna be a game.
And it wasn't tipped. I mean, he threw it relatively high, I
Yeah.
believe.
And you know, it's a credit to the Seahawks defense. Seahawks defense balled out. Now, as is the conversation in sports media, you know, because they always want to overhype things. The next day, I'm seeing stuff on ESPN. It's like, is this the greatest defense of all time? And it's like, no, stop doing that. They did that with the Eagles last year too. The Eagles blew out the Chiefs, and they were like, is this the best? Are the Eagles the best defense of all time? And it's like, no, they're not. But they had a really good playoff run, and it's the same thing with the Seahawks. The Seahawks were a really good defense. They weren't the best defense in the NFL. You know, I mean, Ryan, you already know what I think the best defense in the NFL is. It was the Texans. The Texans' defense was awesome. The Seahawks were a really good defense, though. It's just the Patriots weren't as good as people thought they were. That's what it is.
I mean, Seahawks were number 1 in points allowed or points not allowed, however you want to say it. They were.
Yeah,
So it's kind of hard to say they're not the best defense.
yeah.
But I do agree.
The Patriots also turned the ball over 3 times against the Texans.
I do agree. It is tough to determine of all time with especially defensive battles when you have on the other side. We could say the whole offense, but at least a quarterback who has not done well in any playoff game. Well, maybe the Texans game, you could say.
Yeah.
The first game they played. But was
not
doing well in the playoffs, plays a great defense, and you're like, oh, they got to be the best defense. It's like, well,
no.
Are they?
Throwing all time around, like, I'm so sick of sports media throwing the term all time around so much, like, because, and you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to, you know, they want people watching it, and, you know, if you talk about all time, it gets eyes on you and everything. But it's so annoying. Like, Tom Brady finally leaves the game, and it's like, yep, that's the GOAT right there. But then they're like, oh no, we need a new person that we can say is in contention to be the greatest of all time. So then they jumped on Mahomes, and then the Super Bowl happened last year, and then they're like, okay, maybe Mahomes isn't the greatest of all time. It's like, stop throwing all time stuff around. You want to talk about greatest defense of all time? This Seahawks team was good. They are not even close to the greatest defense of all time. Because you've got the 85 Bears, you've got the 2000 Ravens, and then you got the 2015 Broncos. 2015 Broncos, you want to talk about a historic Super Bowl performance by a historically great defense? You remember how good the Panthers were that year? The Panthers offense couldn't be stopped by anyone until they played the Broncos in the Super Bowl.
Cam Newton that year?
Yeah, it was Cam Newton's MVP season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely different from this because the Patriots' offense was good in the regular season against bad teams, but then their offense was horrendous in the playoffs. The Panthers' offense was amazing the whole season, including playoffs, until they played the Broncos in the Super Bowl that year. And then it was like, okay, it was like the Panthers are a good team. The Panthers were a historically good team. They went 15-1. The Broncos were just that good of a defense. I don't think the Seahawks were just that good of a defense. I think they were a good defense. I just think that the Patriots were not as good as people thought they were.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they can somehow do some metric and combination of equations to figure out, due to your strength of schedule, how good your defense was in a given year. But as of right now, there is nothing that shows that. So
yeah. Ryan, do you want to talk about how you were 1 point away from having a correct score prediction?
Let me tell you about my insights into the game, which one I predicted the under and then almost the score.
Yeah, but Kenneth Walker got robbed of a touchdown late.
Well, you know, that is true, but still, 29-13. I did not know that there was going to be 5 field goals. So I apologize for that. Hashtag Jason Myers should have gotten MVP.
Yeah. Ryan called 28-13. Now, he did piggyback 13 off of me. I said Patriots 13, and Ryan was like, we'll keep it with 13. So, you know, he might not have come up with that on his own, but...
Hey, part of greatness is recognizing when other people make great predictions, so I took that.
It's still probably the closest we've ever come to getting a score prediction right, and it almost happened in the Super Bowl. That would have been one for the ages.
I would have clipped that, played it over and over again as loud as I could.
I used to do that. I used to in the
What?
Super.
Pump yourself up
Well, no,
and
no, not
oh
that.
yeah, I did that right.
No, in the Super Bowl, I used to take my score prediction from the podcast, and I would actually put money on that exact score on FanDuel. And obviously, it never even came close to hitting. But if you would have done that, and it would have actually hit, like that's like a plus 20,000 payout most of the time.
Hmm. That man. Well, I'll know better for next year.
Could have been making
Maybe.
some real money.
Yeah. All the monies. I will tell you, at the beginning of the fourth quarter, I did not think I was going to get anywhere close.
Yeah.
Because if you did not watch the game, I don't know why you're listening to the podcast, but hey, we welcome you to. The Patriots did not score until the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I mean, I was happy for garbage time. Garbage time saved most of my parlays. It was looking like I was gonna go way negative on the night, and then garbage time happened, and I was like, all right.
Well, how about that? Yeah, and there were there's no touchdown scored until the fourth quarter too, so that's why it felt like a very defensive slog. You know, get the ball to like the 40, 35, and then hopefully get a couple more yards and kick another field goal and another field goal. But won them the game because what do we always say with defensive battles? You want the points. You have the option, 4th and 1, still kick the field goal because it adds up.
Yeah. And then I did want to touch on one final thing on my end, and I already talked to Ryan about this, I remember, but it's about Drake May, and I do want to clarify, I do not dislike Drake May. Like every interview I've ever seen, everything, like he seems like a really likable guy. This is nothing like whatever in that regard, but the fan base, the Patriots fan base was pretty insufferable throughout the season. The Drake May nickname thing was funny for like a week, and then it just got really annoying. So, just putting it out there. I'm more talking about the fans and the apologist here. But I already, like, before the game was over, Ryan, I told you, I said, I can already tell you, Twitter, wherever, every comment section on the internet, there's going to be Patriots fans and, Drake May fans that are going to be storming in, and they're going to be saying, it's because the offensive line. Yeah, the offensive line did give up some sacks, but also, if Drake May would have been able to get rid of the ball sometime this century, he probably also wouldn't have been sacked that many times. There were many times where he held onto the ball for like 4 seconds or longer.
And what's the average release time for QBs? Like 2.5 or something?
Yeah, like under 2.5. So, sacks are... sacks are it's a stat where there's just a lot of variables to it, but at least half of those sacks were on Drake May. He was holding onto the ball way too, and that's another thing about being a young, inexperienced quarterback in the NFL, is that a veteran knows going up against a defense like that, you're watching film on that defense for 2 weeks. A veteran goes in that game knowing they're going to have to be chucking the ball as fast as they can. The Patriots also have a really good pass rush, and look at what Sam Darnold was doing in this game. Sam Darnold was getting that ball out real quick. He only took, I think, 1 sack the whole game.
Yeah, it was 1.
Yeah, so it's the difference between experience and not. I think Drake May does have a bright future. I don't think that this is necessarily an outlier year. Now, I do think we've seen his ceiling. I think his ceiling is he puts up the stat line that he had this year against actual contender teams in the regular season next year. I'm not saying that that's what I think is going to happen. I'm just saying that's the ceiling for his career, is he puts up those numbers against legitimate contenders.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to evaluate because with garbage time, he threw 295 yards and 2 TDs. So
right. Well, I'm talking about his regular season stats.
Yeah.
I think that that's his ceiling, and that's why, once again, as a Bears fan, I'm not passing up on Caleb to take Drake May, because I believe that now we've seen Drake May's ceiling. We've seen a snapshot of it. we still don't really know what the ceiling for Caleb Williams is. He needs to clean up his accuracy for sure. But if he does that and he keeps pulling off the miracle crazy stuff that he can do, the crazy athletic stuff, like, the dude's gonna be, I mean, he could go down as an all-timer.
Hey, as long as he has Tooney anchoring his line, I think he'll do great.
Yeah, we do like ourselves some protector of the year Joe Tooney.
He's been to how many championship games or
He's won
playoff?
he's won 4 Super Bowls so far.
Oh man, what a guy!
Two with the Chiefs, 2 with the Patriots, and hopefully 2 with the Bears.
Yeah.
So
going back to game managers, Sam Darnold, he didn't have a good game. 9 completions, 38 attempts, so he made half his passes. But that is the game manager mentality. I'm going to throw the ball away. I'm not going to try to force something.
Yep. And he was being smart with the throwaways too, where, like I was talking about how you're not putting the ball in harm's way. There were times where he was under pressure, but it was 3rd down, and you could tell like he wanted to try to give his receiver something. There were plenty of times where he threw it to Kupp where it was like, Kupp is going to catch it or no one's getting this ball. And Kupp didn't catch it most of the time. Or, Shaheed on the deep ball that they tried couldn't get to it either. But it's still safe. You're giving your guy a chance while also not putting the ball in any harm's way. So, yeah.
Nice. Have we commented on any of the Vikings stuff yet?
I was hoping Rovers would join the call, but
I know probably, but I saw a lot of Vikings memes about you gave up a QB in a, what was it, 14-3 season, or I don't know, a winning season.
Yep.
To go to another team, and he does that.
They picked the mystery box over the boat. But to be fair, a mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat.
that is a fair point. But a lot of Vikings are getting some hate for giving up Sam Darnold for JJ McCarthy, who looked terrible this season.
Yeah.
But props for Sam Darnold. This is what, his 4th team? 5th team?
5th team.
And he goes and he finally gets a Super Bowl. I mean, that's...
Yeah. And he didn't do it all on his own, but honestly, that's what it takes in today's NFL. Quarterbacks do not just win Super Bowls all on their own. I'm a big Tom Brady fan, but he didn't win those Super Bowls all on his own. The Patriots had a top 10 defense most of the time they won the Super Bowl. So you've got to have a good supporting cast around you, and Sam Darnold did. And they had a good defense, and Sam Darnold went out there and he did exactly what he needed to do to have a successful season that ends in winning the Super Bowl.
And they might be on top next season too. You know what his contract is?
Yeah, he's not getting paid a ton, $30 million a year.
Yeah, 3-year, $100 million, 55
now,
guaranteed.
What I said last time was, I bet he signs an extension now. I bet he gets paid now, but we'll see. If he doesn't get paid and they keep him inked in the 30 million range, they'll have plenty of cap space to try to keep some of the key pieces on defense around. So, yeah, Seahawks could probably run it back if they play their cards right in the offseason.
Yeah. It looks like, in terms of QBs, Dak Prescott has the largest contract with $60 million a year. So
yeah,
he's getting paid about half, and he's the Super Bowl quarterback.
Yep, it's just not what the Seahawks did is the smart way to win championships nowadays. It's like, it's cool that quarterbacks are getting paid what they're getting paid nowadays, but don't expect to win championships when your quarterback is taking up that much of your cap space. And it's honestly, like, if I was building an NFL team, like, I would do what the smart teams are doing. You find a QB that's got some experience that you're hoping, give him a good support staff or a good supporting cast, get him a nice offensive coordinator, get him a nice young, smart offensive coordinator, and ink them to a team-friendly deal. Like, don't be surprised if the Buccaneers don't have a ton of injuries happen next year and they might be in the Super Bowl next year. Because the Buccaneers, I think the Buccaneers have a really solid team right now, and Baker Mayfield is not getting paid $60 million a year. And we just saw what Baker Mayfield can do on a year where I'm talking about the first 5 weeks of the season. When all the receivers are healthy and all of the offensive linemen are healthy, Baker Mayfield, like, they were talking about him like he was going to be an MVP winner. So it's the smart way to build a team. Find a veteran QB that you're hoping you can put a good cast around, build up a good defense, and just spend your money wisely. Get a good offensive line.
They got to pay well, I guess they don't have to pay him. This coming year will be the 4th year of his rookie deal, but he'll probably ask for a new contract either this year or next year.
It's the smart call would be to ink him this year because the receiver market will only go up. Because you know who's coming up for an extension. Puka. and that's gonna be an earth-shattering extension. Actually, he might have already signed it. He might have signed an extension after his rookie year.
JSN Offensive Player of the Year this year. I mean, you're going to have to pay the guy. I think top receiver contracts are what, like 30, 35?
Yeah. All right.
You're going to have to pay him a lot.
Puka just finished his 3rd year. He made
same as JSN.
Yeah, he made $1 million.
Oh, JSN has a $14 million contract through 4 years, so he made triple that.
Yeah, Puka is a 4-year contract worth $4 million because he was a 7th-round draft pick.
That's crazy. I hope he gets paid because some of these guys, I mean, they break out and then they have to play for not a lot of money compared to, all the other receivers at the position.
Yeah, if I'm the Seahawks, I am signing JSN before Puka gets his deal done because Puka is going to get crazy money.
Mm-hmm. And do you lock that up for a couple years, or is it
Puka or JSN?
Either or. Would you rather have a 3-year contract or a 5-year contract?
Receiver, I try to get him for 3 or 4.
Because they're going in. They're probably about 26, maybe 27.
I think JSN is 24. So maybe. No, he's 20. Okay, Jason's 23, so maybe you do go for a 5-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it would be 5-year after his current contract runs out, though. But still, that only puts him at 29. I don't know. I think it just depends on the player. Puka, I think you try to ink him for as long as possible because it's not like he's a burner. It's not like once he loses his speed, he's not going to be good anymore. He's just a really, really good route runner, and he's really smart. He knows how to find gaps in zones.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Puka's going to get a crazy deal when he's up for an extension. Because he's not getting paid anything right now. He's looking to get that bag.
No, yeah, for sure.
JSN at least is getting some good money, and you know what? JSN just got a Super Bowl trophy, so maybe JSN is like, I want to get a bag, but I also want to make sure that we can keep winning Super Bowls. To be fair, players don't have that mentality very much anymore, but I think some of them should because I think that the get paid versus be competitive thing is starting to get a little out of hand. Players don't take discounts anymore, and you know what? It's fine. You're setting you and your family up for life, but at the same time, you could also do that with half the money that you're getting paid. Myles Garrett talking about how he wants to be on a competitive team, but then staying on the Browns to just get maximum dollar. It's like you don't actually care, man. Like
Crosby's about to do that. He's about to get maximum dollar from somewhere.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I don't know what Crosby's gonna do.
So, the Seahawks probably should ink JSN this offseason. Kenneth Walker, his contract is up. That's his rookie contract.
That's a tough one.
I mean, he is Super Bowl MVP.
Well,
if he goes somewhere else, he's gonna start. So that's the type of player he is. He's not like your top 10 running back, but
Right.
he's
Well,
still good.
well, the running back market is so like running backs still aren't getting paid that much. It's better than it was a couple years ago. A couple years ago, it was like it actually was starting to feel like a conspiracy with how little like good running backs were getting paid. Like you had like David Montgomery getting paid like $4 million a year. It was on not a rookie deal. It's like that's crazy. But
Yeah. And contracts now, Saquon's making 20, Christian McCaffrey is making 19, Henry at 15, Taylor at 14.
right,
So
so you've got the top guys making 20, but meanwhile the top QBs are making double that or triple that. I mean, like
yeah,
it's a pretty crazy disparity. But the thing that's actually tough about Kenneth Walker is now we got used to him being in a committee, and now that we've gotten to see what he looks like, and he's better than he was when he was the workhorse, anyways. I don't know what it is that made him so good this year, but without Charbonnet, he was looking like beast mode out there.
yeah,
So
and
I don't know
he
what
had
you do with
a
him.
he had a couple games without Charbonnet, but he still ran for 1,000 yards, 4.6 average, 5 TDs, 1 fumble. He had decent year.
Yeah, I mean, I think you try to keep him, but it's tough with running backs because you can you can get another running back that will be effective.
I
Might
mean,
maybe not
Charbonnet
as
is pretty
effective,
good.
but Charbonnet's decent. But I don't know. Charbonnet won't be ready by the start of next season. So
So if you sign Kenneth Walker, that's probably, I don't know, 10 to 15 mil, and then if you sign JSN, 30 mil. I mean, there's your cap space that was previously allowed by Sam Darnold taking a mid contract. So I don't know if they'll have a lot of cap space to work with.
yeah. Well, we'll see. You know what, Ryan? That's a good cliffhanger to leave it on because the next time we do an episode, we'll be talking about free agency. So we're gonna be taking some time off, and then we'll be back for a couple episodes in March. Talk about free agency, and then we'll talk about the draft in April. So turn
Sounds good.
on if you're on YouTube. Well, you have to be on YouTube if you're watching this. So click subscribe and click on the bell. That way you get notified because we don't know when we're going to be uploading off-season content yet. So stay tuned.
Yep. Thanks, guys. This is the end of the NFL for this season.
Peace.